welcome back to another Casual Friday. I'm your host Sensei Pong, and today we're taking a look into the game 20XX, because I've decided it's roguelike month.
We're gonna play, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna play some rogue-lite dungeon crawlers and stuff.
What a sad intro. Either way, this game was recommended to me for quite some time, a few months under a year ago, and I apologize for not jumping to it sooner. It's a fun game overall and quite enjoyable for any fan of the Mega Man series. 20XX, not to be confused with the Smash Bros. Mod or Smash Bros. Metagame jokes, is a roguelike homage to Mega Man X series of games. I would assume from the SNES or PlayStation years for the most part. Controls at the moment are tight and animation is fluid. The levels are randomly generated by theme, bosses, and sometimes mini-boss rooms. And because of the random nature of a roguelike formula, adds a neat level of difficulty that the regular Mega Man games don't really offer. Though this game is far more forgiving than Mega Man, not really knowing what you're about to face is a great idea and implementation of the platforming genre. I'm not saying this is anything new, we've seen this executed well with games such as Rogue Legacy and Spelunky, but if you're craving Mega Man and Mighty No. 9 isn't cutting the mustard, that's what I've heard, I don't know, I haven't played it. I can't give you my own thoughts on it. 20XX is definitely a game you should at least keep track of or look into. It is early access, so things are subject to change, and unlike many early access titles on Steam, I've noticed that the developer team has actually been quite on top of fixing bugs, implementing new ideas, items, upgrades, etc. I do have a couple complaints towards the game, but at this point my complaints seem a little irrelevant. The game as it stands is great, but personally I'd like to see more variety. But again, like I said, this complaint is irrelevant. From the first time I played it up until recently, new things have been added, the hubs in between levels changed, and more enemies mixed in. From the progress the game has made in the short amount of time I've played, with the frequent updates, it seems to me that this game will only get better as time progresses. The lack of storyline, I would assume, would be something that would be added to the final product, maybe like lava like Heatman or Construction Yard like Gutsman type level will be added later, or even go real nuts and add the ancient ruins like Snake Man level to the added final product. The direction developers are taking the game is good, and everything from the sound, music, enemy designs, and thought to the strategy is being executed well enough to feel like a rogue version of a Mega Man game, or Mega Man-like game. At the moment, 20XX is a procedural rogue-lite platformer. Each time you perform a run, you start with no upgrades, but progressing through the levels, you find and obtain new upgrades via beating bosses within shops, crates, or opening up chests. You obtain new upgrades that may be found in the levels by collecting soul nuts that can be spent like currency in the hub zone shops. There are dailies to keep you coming back and weeklies as well. Unfortunately though, as the game stands at the moment in its beta form, it still feels a little bit lacking. It's hard for me to put my finger on it. It probably has something to do with the lack of lore or storyline added to the somewhat lacking variety of level mechanics and enemies. It's not drawing me in as much as it probably should be. But like I said, this isn't really a complaint. Any complaints I have are irrelevant, since the developers have actually shown to be frequently working on this title and updating it accordingly. It's honestly really hard to review something that seems to be always changing for the better. In conclusion, I'm excited to see where this game goes in the future with its final release. It's a solid beta and with a dedicated team working behind it. Once the game is fully released, I'll definitely give it a full review. It's available on the Steam shop as a discounted beta price, and if you're sure it's something you'd probably enjoy, should definitely take a look into. At some point soon, I will be doing a playthrough or two to showcase the daily and weekly challenges, some of the items I've accumulated, and possibly the co-op options that are available. Hope you enjoyed this quick vid overview on 20XX. Sensei Pong signing out. Like and subscribe.